afternoon. A new season in the Canon League, and in the First Division it promises to be the most powerful and profitable for a number of years. With Chelsea, Sheffield Wednesday and Newcastle, three of the biggest and potentially best supported clubs back in the fold. And indeed we feature all three today. We see Chelsea's return to the First Division and their visit to Arsenal, and there were 45,000 fans there to see them. And we look at Newcastle and their fanatical supporters at Leicester as Jack Charlton returns as manager of Newcastle United. And we start with Sheffield Wednesday's game against Nottingham Forest at Hillsborough. 32,000 there for that one. They enjoyed a hard-fought game spiced with some remarkable goals. And our commentator, Martin Tyler.
Sheffield Wednesday, with a stadium and support worthy of the First Division, are back where so many football lovers feel they belong. And they're back with three new players. Brian Marwood from Hull City and Lee Chapman from Sunderland are the acquisitions in attack, with the departures of Gary Bannister and Tony Cunningham. And Andy Blair was signed from Aston Villa as the midfield replacement for Gary Megson. Megson has moved on to Nottingham Forest, but there's no place for him in Brian Clough's first selection of the season. But in come Johnny Method, the Dutch international, who spent the last 2 years with Real Madrid, and Trevor Christie, who contributed 25 goals for Notts County last season. And still the Forest captain is Ian Bowyer, who in 1970 scored the 2 goals here for Manchester City, which condemned Sheffield Wednesday to relegation from the First Division. Today's referee, Neil Midgley, has passed the summer refereeing in Malaysia and Indonesia. And it's Nottingham Forest, the top scorers in the First Division last season, who get the game underway, defending the goal to the left in the first half. Sheffield Wednesday, of course, in the shirts of blue and white stripes. The pitch has been completely relayed. In fact, the grass here was only sown 8 weeks ago, as Mel Sterland, with the long throw, finds the head only of Paul Hart. And the last touch was off Brian Marwood. An early season smile from the experienced Nottingham Forest central defender Paul Hart. Method. Hoping to show his worth in English football to get back in the Dutch national side, Johnny Method. Didn't have the happiest of times in his 2 years with Real Madrid. Hart, and first to the loose ball was Mel Sterland. Very much the favourite here, and you can see why. They gave him the nickname of Zico last season for his enterprising play. You can hear it being chanted now. And he moved on into the England under-21 setup as well, Mel Sterland. Always prepared to try a crack at goal. It was just too high. Hart having to defend in earnest then. Chapman again poised to come off the near post. Lyons has gone in behind him, and it's brought a corner, which is part of the intent. Blair will take it. Shelton is right in on the goal line, and it's solidly met by Paul Hart. Blair, who'd taken the corner. Shelton. Blair again. Made in something of a hurry by Shelton, but it almost made something for Chapman now. Was Marwood brought down by Steve Sutton? He was. "18 minutes gone. Forest protest. It was just a little stab ball up in the air by Gary Shelton, but Chapman made something of it. Marwood was in pursuit and was adjudged there to have been brought down by the goalkeeper. Mel Sterland had 6 successful penalties last season for Sheffield Wednesday and 1 for the England under-21s. And for a spot of gamesmanship, there's a booking for Steve Hodge, who was slow to go outside the area. As Hodge is booked, Sterland has taken the ball away. Remember, it's his first division game, Mel Sterland. It's lasted some 19 minutes, and he takes the penalty, and he scores in splendid style. A marvellous start for Sheffield Wednesday. The goalkeeper palpably deceived, but the drama is not yet over, because Neil Midgley has ruled, presumably, that there was encroachment, and Sterland must now go through the ordeal a second time. Neil Midgley, the referee, very much the centre of this episode, having awarded the penalty, then booked Hodge, and now retaken for Sterland. Same technique, same result, and this time it certainly does count. And delight is now mingled with relief. Sutton hadn't learnt the lesson. Sterland's nerve held. So, Sheffield Wednesday 1, Nottingham Forest 0. Hodge, Walsh away on the left. Faced by Sterland, and now by Verratti. The linesman was flagging, in any case, for offside, and Christie pursuing Shirtliff, and it was a forwards tackle, really, rather than any great malice. Looked considerably worse than it was, and Shirtliff quickly up to take the free kick himself. Fairclough, it drops for Shelton, a complete miscue, but the ball will stay in play. Lovely control from Christie, matched by the turn, and the pass for Davenport. Hodge has committed himself. There's a real chance for Davenport. It's his goal, but it was superbly set up by Trevor Christie. And significantly, Christie gets his share of the congratulations, and then from Davenport, the scorer, as well. It was all from a long ball forward by Ian Bowyer. Now watch Christie here. Killed it instantly, turned brilliantly, and then waited the moment for the right pass so that Davenport was onside. Martin Hodge will be disappointed in the way he overcommitted, and Davenport kept his head to equalise. So it's 1-1. The goal coming after 36 minutes. Verratti. And Chapman, a free header. The type that strikers really know that they should score from. All credit to Steve Sutton for making the save. But from that distance and unmarked, Chapman will feel surely that he should have scored. Corner as Hart and Chapman continue the aerial battle. Blair's corner, and again Forrest posting Hart to meet the first ball in rather than try and read any flick on. And this time it was hit more crisply, to the discomfort of Sutton. And Worthington, still Forrest stand firm, and it's finally off the line by Steve Hodge. Back from Sterland, and this time Sutton able to hang on in a beleaguered goalmouth, where he was grateful to the help of his teammates from a fiercely driven corner initially by Blair that he had problems with. And then Chapman was right in there, Worthington too. It looped up in the air for Chapman and Lyons to go for. Steve Hodge was guarding the post. But at half-time, it's Sheffield Wednesday 1, Nottingham Forest 1. Mel Sterland had put Wednesday into the lead with a twice-taken penalty, but then Peter Davenport, set free by a marvellous piece of work from Trevor Christie, equalised Sterland's nerve earlier from the penalty spot. By an odd quirk of fate, the last First Division match that Sheffield Wednesday actually won was against Nottingham Forest back in March 1970. For their supporters, it's been 14 long years in the wilderness, as they choose to call it. 5 seasons in the Third Division, and a time when Wednesday were very close in 1976 to dropping to the 4th. Sterland. Here's Marwood. And it was Worthington coming in late. And again, it was noticeable how many players Sheffield Wednesday had got forward on the cross. Hodge. Forced back by the harassing of Andy Blair. Flick on from Christie, and sign of a link-up again with Davenport. Hart. There's no way back for Method. Chapman was preventing it. He's a tall player, but with good technique, and he proved it then. Here's Wigley. Swain has gone outside him. Wigley using Davenport in a more central route, and Hodge, as it came off the goalkeeper from the original shot by Davenport. And again, it was a tale of the two Hodges. Martin Hodge pushed it out from Davenport, and Stephen Hodge turned it wide of an open goal, admittedly off balance. Gary Mills just checking with Brian Clough as to whether he is to be called into the action, and the top is off. Colin Walsh is the player who's still feeling that injury. And Walsh, who's certainly got a muscle twinge from that turn a couple of minutes ago, replaced by Gary Mills. Hart's free kick. And Worthington, I think, was trying to get the ball away for the throw, but the volley was mishit. Paul Hart, who's been defending at the near post for much of this game when Wednesday have had corners, is now trying to make his presence felt on the near post for Forest. Beaten to it by Shirtliff. It's a long way for Berardi to go. He's not the type of player to be short on confidence in this sort of situation. Still Berardi. Brilliantly done! He certainly didn't lack the confidence. Forest had the corner, and Peter Shirtliff headed it away to Imre Berardi with some 70 yards to go. And Forest, of course, with defenders like Paul Hart forward at the original set piece, those who were left backed off, Berardi went on and buried it in the corner. And those watching it on the Kop have seen an outstanding goal on the opening day of the season from Imre Varadi. 13 minutes into the second half. It's Sheffield Wednesday 2, Nottingham Forest 1. And here's Chapman. Well, it's the sort of goal that Imre Varadi would have spent the close season dreaming about scoring, but he could hardly have imagined to start a First Division campaign here with something quite so spectacular. But it's no more than Sheffield Wednesday deserve. Blair's free kick. Chapman! Good reflexes from Sutton. It's a save really you'd expect him to make. Well within his reach. But Chapman was closing in, flipped over the top by Sutton. Blair's corner. Fairclough, one number 4, turning it away from Smith, the other. Well, so many of them have been through the trials and tribulations of 14 years, where a famous club had sunk lower than anyone thought they could ever sink. But they're back now, and determined to be back in some style. Swain. "20 minutes left, and interesting from the point of view of both teams. Wednesday with their reputation of being one of the fittest clubs around, and Forest, of course, with the worry those who did play in the pre-season game on Wednesday against Panathinaikos and had a long air journey on Friday. Whether that will be a factor remains to be seen, but Forest need a strong finish here. And to try and provide it, Paul Hart's gone forward again. Method couldn't bypass Andy Blair. Blair again. This time it's Marwood who's furthest forward for Wednesday. Varadi lurking with intent, and he certainly needed no encouragement to try his luck again. There was menace for Forest the moment the ball reached Imre Varadi, and it needed the save. And off the line, and Shelton, for the second time in the match. Forest fortunate that the defender had stayed on the line at a corner, as both Varadi and Mark Smith came in, and it was Varadi's header. Ian Bowyer who came to Forest's rescue from Imre Varadi's header, and he looks across to see Wednesday make a substitution. They've taken off Mike Lyons, and John Pearson is on as substitute. Varadi. Sterling not giving it up though, and Blair. Well, the ball, as it rolled loose, favoured Forest and Swain, but they didn't really clear the danger when they might have done. Shelton. Gary Shelton has a First Division hat-trick to his name in his days with Aston Villa. And he's a midfield player who certainly gets into scoring positions, as he's done in this game. Chapman, and Marwood is allowed to go on onside, and Pearson! He could hardly believe it. It virtually hit him and went in. Hart and Sutton let the ball go, and Marwood provided the cross, which bamboozled the goalkeeper and Paul Hart. There was just a suspicion in my mind here that Marwood might have been offside. But this was the problem for Forest on the near post. They let it run, and it hit Pearson on the left knee, and it's 3-1.
And that was the final score, and after all those years away from the First Division, the best possible return then for Wednesday, except that their defender and skipper Mike Lyons, we saw him go off there, had a slight Achilles injury, and that could now keep him out for 3 weeks. Well, all this then on a day when the crowds were up on the opening day compared to last season by 12,000 in the First Division, and indeed yesterday there were 35 goals in the First Division alone. Well, there were plenty in our second match as newly promoted Newcastle United go to Leicester City. Our reporter for the goal action here is Dennis Coath. He was there to see Newcastle arrive and first had a word with their new manager, Jack Charlton.
I'm going to enjoy the season, I hope. You never know, results are what you enjoy, really.
There was a carnival atmosphere to the curtain raiser at Filbert Street, but those fanatical Newcastle fans soon drowned the band and were celebrating their return to the top flight with a goal after just 3 minutes. Peter Beardsley, who's replaced Kevin Keegan as the idol of Tyneside, battled to win a corner. And from his kick, Steve Carney was on hand to score his club's first Division 1 goal of the 80s. Wallington looked dismayed, but his opposite number, Kevin Carr, was displaying the effect of Jack Charlton's coaching with a powerful header. The Leicester defence frequently got into a muddle when Beardsley threatened. But after some early uncertainty, they started to penetrate Newcastle's left flank. Ramsey showed a delightful touch to set himself up for a shot. And then Banks' tackle released Linex on the right. His deep cross was volleyed back by Alan Smith for Lineker to pounce with a header. Early in the second half, Newcastle grabbed the lead again when McDonald's free kick was headed on by Saunders. Lineker blocked Roda's shot, but McCreary followed up to score. But Lineker was soon playing his more accustomed role at the other end of the field. From a corner on the left, he drove home powerfully through the Newcastle defence. 10 minutes from time, a disastrous error by Wallington gave Waddle a chance he gratefully accepted to make it 3-2. So it was a great return for Newcastle and for Jack Charlton, who's adopted a new approach to the game after his time off when he went hunting, shooting and fishing.
Well, I said the game wouldn't worry me and drive me. I'm not going to have a heart attack over this game anymore. I had a year off last year and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I don't even remember half the games I've played in 30 years, but I know I worried about every one. And I think, well, what's the point in worrying? Enjoy the game. I enjoyed sitting watching today, and if I got a bit anxious the last 5 minutes, but other than that, I quite enjoyed it.
Welcome back, Big Jack. So victory for him and Newcastle United and for Sheffield Wednesday as they step back into the First Division. And in a moment, we should look at last season's Second Division champions, Chelsea, as they go to Arsenal. But that comes up after the break. And welcome back. Our third game today is the All-London derby between Arsenal and Chelsea, a match that got us up a bit early yesterday to kick off the new season.
The famous Arsenal clock shows a morning kick-off in the hope that temperatures might be a little cooler amongst the rival fans for this opening game of the season, where two international fullbacks make their first appearances for their new clubs. Viv Anderson of England, formerly with Nottingham Forest, makes his first appearance for Arsenal. And Scotland's Doug Rugby, formerly with Aberdeen, comes into the newly promoted Chelsea team. Arsenal, however, without Graham Rix injured and Charlie Nicholas suspended for one game this season, so Paul Davis comes into the midfield and the former Colchester player Ian Allinson takes Nicholas's place. Chelsea also short of full strength Mickey Thomas and Joey Jones are both serving suspensions. John Bumstead was injured in a pre-season game, but at least that gives an unexpected chance in the First Division for a 20-year-old midfielder, Dale Jasper, who had just 3 first-team games last season. The referee is Alan Robinson of Portsmouth.
We pick up the game in the first half.
Lee with the throw. Thrown towards Speedy, but it was Davis who got the header in. Jasper, nice little touch there for Spackman. Oh, and a ricochet there. Jennings will have to act again, and again his fists came to the rescue for Arsenal. Nevin, oh, lovely skill. Oh, a lovely touch there. And Sanson quick to spot the danger. Well, he may have missed out the first time, Sanson, but he made sure he got his challenge in the second time. But there was a glimpse of Nevin that cheered Chelsea as Woodcock then plays it away, and Nijveski gets there first. Delightful little touch from little Pat Nevin. Cannaville trying to get it back from Speedy. Under pressure from Talbot. It's gone Chelsea's way. Paul Cannaville with the throw. Finding Speedy. Might come for Dale Jasper. And a shot pushed away well by Jennings from young Dale Jasper. What a versatile young player he is. He's played in the back four and left back for Chelsea and in the midfield. They think his best position is in the midfield. And it looks as though he's a midfielder who knows where goal is too. Good work by Jennings. And in fact, it's Rugby who heads it on. And O'Leary gets it away to Paul Davis, and now Jennings. Mariner. Well, in the opening 12 minutes, Chelsea have looked the more dangerous side. And Talbot gets it back to his keeper. Under threat from Speedy. David Speedy with a cut mouth at the moment. Sanson, Davis. Mariner's touch to Allinson, finding Woodcock. Finding Allinson, all the way through. Oh, a scorching shot, well saved. Both goalkeepers in excellent form in this opening game of the season. Allinson bursting through, and Nijveski with good reaction. Nijveski, I must say, good reactions. Allinson again. Talbot outside him. Came off Jasper. Davis. Fell towards Mariner on the far side again. Nijveski. Mariner onside. Save by Nijveski. Now Mariner claims that Nijveski then came and jumped on him as they were both going for the ball, but the referee said no. But Mariner was onside. Nijveski made a very good save indeed, and now you can see, if anything, it was Mariner bumping into the Chelsea goalkeeper. Davis. Sanson. Obstruction by Nevin. Well, he's made 2 really excellent saves, Nijveski. Sanson with the... Oh! And it goes in, fair enough! Arsenal in the lead. Paul Mariner gets the first goal of the new season. And there was nothing Nijveski could do about that. Complaining to defender Joe McLaughlin, but here's the free kick. And there's the goal by Mariner. And Arsenal into the lead. Arsenal fans who are saying that our good form at the end of last season was down so much to the arrival of Paul Mariner. He's made the best possible start to the new season. And here's Woodcock. Oh, so close to being another one. Right across the face of that Chelsea goal. Could never have been much more than a foot outside the goal line. A really good chinky little run here as Woodcock takes it up. And just look how close that was. Handball. And a free kick to Chelsea. And Dixon again, and Chelsea have equalised. They were badly caught out there, Arsenal, and Kerry Dixon, with 34 goals last season, gets away to the best possible start in the First Division. The first was a left foot shot that was saved by Jennings. Back it came again, and what a belter with the right foot into the corner, and Chelsea are level. So Kerry Dixon, who did so much to push Chelsea into the First Division with that brilliant season last year in the Second Division, shows that he can also score goals at the top level too. Well, it was just the break Chelsea required. And here comes Dixon again, but this time Jennings is there. Speedy. Cannaville. Up goes Nevin. And my word, Dixon was almost in there again. They've got a corner. Well, little Pat Nevin, one of the smallest men on the field, really had no right, it seemed, to win that one in the air. But win it he did. And it gave Dixon a half chance. And it provides Chelsea with a corner. So here's Jasper with the corner for Chelsea. Towards Kerry Dixon again. And onto the roof of the net. Is now gone forward belatedly. And he's the man maybe Sanson was looking for, but no. Davis perhaps. Rugby stopped him. Doug Rugby certainly had an excellent first game in the English First Division so far. Now there's some more defending to do as Stuart Robson prepares to hurl a long ball into that Chelsea penalty area. There he goes. Massive throw. Caton flicking it back. And Mariner with a shot, beautifully saved by Nisvetsky. Good reactions there, because he only saw that at the very last moment. Done well there by Tommy Caton. And there's the shot, and good reactions from the Chelsea keeper. Rugby for Chelsea. Cannaville. They've got past Robson and Anderson. He's got Dixon away on his left and finds it. Dixon again. Speedy! Well, how Jennings grabbed hold of that one, I don't know. It was a real close-range shot, and it came so unexpectedly. But Big Pat was well behind it. 39 years old, Pat, but the Arsenal fans say as good as ever. Moving again, getting away from the challenge of Davis. In the end, he loses out. And Robson brings it away for Arsenal. Brings it away well for Arsenal, with Mariner supporting him and Anderson coming forward as well. But Rugby to the cheers of the Chelsea fans. There's no doubt about it. Doug Rugby has made an instant hit here with the Chelsea fans. He's had a fine game, and surely he stopped Anderson in his tracks there. Cannaville. But Robson's there, no foul. Back it goes to Jones. Well, if the game, the first one of the season's got to be won, it's got to be won pretty quickly now. As Jennings leathers a long ball forward, it's Woodcock. And now it's Aronson. Long-range shot. Good save by Nichveski. One or two good breaks on goal as Aronson, and that was another, and that would have just crept in, as you could see.
Well, a good game and not a bit of trouble in the 45,000 crowd. That certainly is worth reporting as well. And Chelsea's certainly showing enough in that 1-1 draw to suggest that they're going to be perfectly at home in the First Division this season. So, the three newly promoted clubs all made a good start to the season. That surely will be good for the Gates. And Sheffield Wednesday's Imre Varadi has certainly got off to a real flyer. I think it's going to take some goal to beat his against Nottingham Forest yesterday. Mind you, strikers everywhere do have 9 months to try.
Beaten to it by Shirtliff. It's a long way for Varadi to go. He's not the type of player to be short on confidence in this sort of situation. Still Varadi. Brilliantly done!